Welcome to episode 45 of Drew's Baseball Crew here on this Saturday morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. And look, we have the postseason slate here for the NL and ALDS. And with that, that means it's a great slate to preview. I talked in prior episodes that this series is not really going to be weekly anymore. And the reason being, there's a great reason why the Wisconsin Sports Spotlight is coming on in episode one of the, or not really episode one, it was really episode 27. It's just it's a rebrand of the college athlete spotlight here to move to overall sports individuals here. And with that episode, last week's episode featuring Johnny Tim was great, and he was a great guest. Great to have him on. And we had Journey Million on Wednesday, and then here's the betting, a little bit of betting here. Be on the lookout next week. I'll have another spotlight out. Have a few guests, just working out some dates and stuff. So that's where we're at. But when there's a slate that is going to feature some good talent and some good players and a high stakes series like today, there is no reason to not do a betting show. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a slate like this needs a betting show, and that's where Drew's Baseball Crew comes in today. And again, alongside the Great Point Brewery of Stevens Point, phenomenal zero sugar root beer, phenomenal taste, vanilla root beer, and it's just a great drink all in one. Great brewery in Stevens Point. It's a nice area. I recommend, if you want to check out a tour brewery, put that one on your list. It's one of the oldest breweries, I believe, in the country is how that goes, but it's one you got to see. That's how I say it. If you're in Stevens Point, you got to go see Stevens Point Brewery. It just makes sense. So that's where I'm at on that. Let's roll here. Let's get warmed up. We have an interesting Immaculate grid to kick us off before we get into the betting. So going through it, the grid is up and it is wild. Look at this. Just awards, just rookie. There's a lot of options for all these. Okay. Jack Greinke, he just comes to mind right away. Guy who won a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger. Guy who won the Rookie of the Year and won a Gold Glove. The Rookie of the Year one I'm gonna leave for last because that's tough. Was Jonathan India an All-Star? I'm just thinking of like recent Rookies of the Year. I'll leave that blank for now. A Cy Young okay. I'm not doing well in terms of creativity. Okay, Johan Santana, Silver Slugger, who is an All-Star. Feel like we could get some weird options here. Nope. I'm thinking. We'll just say Ryan Braun. 0.5. I figure like Braun would be a weird one. Oh, the Braun one, that might have been a bad one to put there. Okay, Silver Slugger in the Hall of Fame. Come on, this is like just pick a guy. In this case, I'm gonna go with Jeter. Okay, a Rookie of the Year in the Hall of Fame. I believe Frank Thomas was the Rookie of the Year. He was not. Okay, well there it goes. That's why I saved him. I'll say Jonathan India. I don't know my Rookie of the Years. I mean, I know he was a Rookie of the Year. I don't know what I guess. Trying to think recently too, and well, I could use Judge. I botched the Rookie of the Years, of course. Those are harder ones. In my there's only 19 Rookie of the Years in the Hall of Fame. Okay, Jeter was the one I should have said. I should have gotten Ichiro. Yeah, Ichiro should have been give me there. That's on me. But oh well. Let's talk betting here. So again, this slate here, there are 4 divisional series games, and the Milwaukee Brewers, I have the flag up. I know I'm sad. They are not in it. We'll talk more about that tomorrow on episode of Drew Sports Crew, the Wisconsin Sports Show. And But yeah, 4 games today. 12:03, 3:35 or 3:45, 5:07 and 8:20 all central time in those games. And yes, we have a great slate and it's going to be fun. I can tell you right now, or all home teams are favored is what I'm seeing, which makes sense. To start looking at, looking at the weather is where I'm at right now, and I'm worried a little bit about this game in Baltimore this afternoon, in over 2 hours. Weather's not great. 32% chance of rain, some wind. Runs are going to be over-unders at 8 right now. I don't know. Just something to monitor in Baltimore. There could be some weather issues going on there. Next up, I want to talk through then some history between pitchers and hitters respectively, and we'll go through and see how the matchups look. And of course, this Arizona Los Angeles matchup, as they are division rivals, provides a lot of more insight on that. So to start, we have Max Muncy leading us off, who has an OPS over 1100 off of Merrill Kelly for his career, with a home run, 6 walks to 5 strikeouts. Muncy's a great option today. Clayton Kershaw is pitching for the Dodgers in game 1. I'm surprised Arizona doesn't have 2 great numbers off of him, except Corbin Carroll, lefty on lefty, 4 for 7 with 2 home runs. Keep that in mind. His OPS is nearly 2,000 off of him. So those are numbers that just bounce off the page when you see them. So those stand out by far. Then Will Smith, his OPS is like 850 or so against Merrill Kelly, with a home run, 4 walks to 6 strikeouts. All I'm saying is a Dodgers stack wouldn't be the worst thing today, as there's more. Jason Hayward, even I'd be impressed if he was in the lineup today. I don't think that'll be the case, or actually probably will be the case. His numbers are great. 2 off of him, 385 average, but his OPS is around 950. So I'm looking at Jason Hayward. I'm looking at some of those lefties in the lineup, Muncy, and then also Corbin Carroll I mentioned, and then those right-hand pitching specialists that they have in terms of David Peralta, who's 4 for 10 off of Kelly, and then James Outman, 4 for 10 as well. Both would be considered for me. Spencer Strider is going to pitch against the Phillies here in game 1. And not great numbers for any Philly, so it's going to be tough to forecast that. They all have struggled against Strider in their games. I want to highlight Joey Gallo. He's 3 for 31 with 14 strikeouts against Justin Verlander, who is the cover or the thumbnail of this video. But there's a lot of great pitchers today, so there's a lot of guys who have not so great numbers. But one who does is Josh Young. After coming back this year, he against Bradish, he has some good numbers. He is 2 for 3 with a home run in a small sample size. Still would like to keep him in mind here. But otherwise, that's what we're looking at in terms of the hitters so far. I'll break down some more matchups too, because I understand smaller slate. We have to have a lot of names, a lot of people ready. And a great way to do that is with Ballpark Pal. And again, when I'm talking about these guys, there could be great options for hits, runs, RBIs on Prize Picks, Fantasy Score. Just overall, some good ways to get these guys in your lineup. Ballpark Pal really likes their matchup. When I say their matchup, the Phillies matchup, or the Braves matchup rather, with the Ranger Suarez. And there are some guys in there who they like to take, for example, like Kevin Pillar. He could be a good value today in DFS, pending, if you want a piece of that lineup, could be a solid option. And yeah, I know Verlander's the thumbnail of this video, but I did want to highlight just for pitchers here, just to pivot a little bit. Spencer Strider definitely is your best bet today. In terms of if you can afford him, you go and get him. He's dominated the Phillies in his time with the Braves, so definitely a great option today. Then Verlander against Arizona, or not Verlander, Kershaw against Arizona, and then Verlander against Minnesota. I do like that matchup for Verlander. I'm probably taking Verlander against Minnesota in Game 1, but that's where I'm at. And for pitching, I think that's the way to go. 2 pitchers, yeah, Strider, Verlander. I wouldn't go Bailey Ober, Suarez, or Dunning. I don't think. Couldn't do it. That's going to be an interesting game one. I'm looking forward to watching some baseball today. Look, I know I'm not Thursday. Game 2s and Game 1 for the Brewers was just pain. Like, no other way to put it other than pain. But we'll watch baseball. I can't watch that Diamondback Dodgers series because you just think about, the Brewers should have been there, or however it goes. So I'll be watching a different one. Wanted to highlight Michael Brantley, who's 4 for 6 against Bailey Ober as well. Just an outfield matchup I did not mention yet that should get some attention. But how I'm going to be operating today is going to be pretty simple. It's going to be two Braves or so. Right now, it's like Kevin Pillar's one I'm looking at, and then maybe like Marcelo Ozuna. I'm not going to pay up for them. But where I'm looking to operate is I want a Dodgers stack of 2 or 3 of those guys I mentioned who have great numbers off of Merrill Kelly. And then I also talked I didn't really actually talk about it yet, but right with Dunning pitching for Texas, just looking at a little bit of that Baltimore lineup, more specifically guys like Ryan O'Hearn, who's like a really platoon guy who's gonna thrive against right-handed pitching, and Dunning's a pretty soft pitch. He limits hard contact per se, but he definitely is susceptible to the long ball. I think O'Hearn is a great option here in the middle of that Orioles lineup. Crazy that team won 101 games. Just probably my first base option I'm looking at. And then in terms of I talk about Houston, looking at Brantley, and you'll see kind of, again, I'm not doing a DFS lineup per se, but I want to give like different positions at different spots where if you're even doing DFS, you can use the information I'm giving you. But like Marcell Ozuna should be in the middle of the order. That's a great spot for runs against Suarez. Overall, it's going to be an exciting day today, an exciting slate. And in summary, I'll just break this down one more time. Great numbers, for players like Max Muncy, James Outman, Hayward, and Peralta for the Dodgers against Kelly for their careers. Corbin Carroll has dominated Clayton Kershaw for his career. I believe it was 4 for 7 is what I said. And then Longoria, also solid matchup for him. 2 with the Braves. Not too much history between against Suarez, but guys like Ozuna and Pilar are set to have good matchups. On the Philly side, nobody has hit Spencer Strider well in that lineup. Probably a fade, unfortunately, in that one. In the Houston-Minnesota game, we're looking at Michael Brantley. We're looking even at Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker, if you can get them in there. And then for the Twins side, it's going to be tough. We talked about with it being Verlander against. I'm not really looking in that lineup. Lastly, in Texas-Baltimore game, Baltimore looking at guys like Ryan O'Hearn lead the way for me. Also would be fine with Gunnar or Adley at the top 2. And then against Kyle Bradish is Texas. I'm looking at Josh Young. Evan Carter's been hot. I need to include him in that. You could get him at some good value. And then also looking at Robbie Grossman, just a safe floor. He's more of a DFS play for me. Pretty safe floor. Wouldn't mind him in my lineup. So that's where I'm looking at this slate. And comment your favorite plays and stuff down below. I will be posting again a little entry. I'm gonna be cooking up, going through the slate today. And yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. I'll be here tomorrow talking about some Packers, Brewers, and Bucks on Drew's Sports Crew. And that's going to wrap it up here for myself, Drew Skyberg. Thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.